Are learning styles a myth? Learning styles are a popular concept in psychology and education that intends to identify how people learn best. One of the most popular theories out there is the VARK model. VARK is visual, auditory, reading, and kinesthetic. The idea that students learn better when teaching methods and school activities match their learning styles were very popular a couple of decades ago. But now evidence suggests that personal learning preferences have very little impact on how you learn. Recently, a very popular YouTube channel, Veritasium, did a video on the biggest myth in education: learning styles. Hi, I'm Eric. I've been a teacher for 15 years. I teach English as a second language. Let's watch this Veritasium video together, and I will share my opinion on learning styles.
There is this idea in education that everyone has their own preferred way of learning, their so-called learning style. If information is presented in accordance with the learning style, well, then they'll learn better. Now, there are dozens of different learning style theories, but the most common one identifies four main learning styles: visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetic, or VARK for short. Visual learners learn best from images, demonstrations, and pictures.
People may say things, but I can't really take it in. I just gotta see them act it out or write it or something.
Auditory learners learn best from listening to an explanation.
Like in school, I was always engaged in a lecture, and that was usually good enough to pass a test.
Reading, writing learners learn best from reading and writing.
Like I can get pretty much anything out of reading a textbook or something.
And kinesthetic learners learn best by doing, physically interacting with the world.
Hands-on, you have to touch things, you have to play with things.
At Teachers College, we were taught about learning styles, and we had to find different ways to help our students learn by using activities that suit their learning preference. This can be good because teachers learn a wide variety of techniques to help their students.
To take advantage of learning styles, then teachers need to do two things. First, identify the learning style of each of their students. And second, teach each student in accordance with their learning style. But before you take an online learning styles quiz, it's a good idea to ask, do learning styles even exist? I mean, do you have one? And if you're taught in accordance with it, would you learn better?
It's funny, there was even a section in our lesson plans where we had to say how we were going to support different learning styles. But I thought it was kind of strange, because we're supposed to teach them all these different skills, not just focus on one.
There is no credible evidence that learning styles exist. In a 2009 review, the researchers note the contrast between the enormous popularity of the learning styles approach within education and the lack of credible evidence for its utility is, in our opinion, striking and disturbing. If classification of students' learning styles has practical utility, it remains to be demonstrated.
The evidence suggests that students don't learn best by focusing on their learning style, but we should teach them using a wide variety of methods.
One of the reasons many people find learning styles so convincing is because they already believe it to be true. For example, they may already think that they're a visual learner, and then when a teacher shows them a diagram of, say, a bike pump, and suddenly the concept clicks, well, they interpret this as evidence for their visual learning style, when in reality, that diagram might just be a great diagram that would have helped anyone learn. When we already believe the world to be a certain way, then we interpret new experiences to fit with those beliefs, whether they actually do or not.
I believe that teachers should still learn and find ways to reach our students. We should actively be involved in learning new techniques and teaching methods, but there should be a credible basis before we apply it in class.
Ultimately, the most important thing for learning is not the way the information is presented, but what is happening inside the learner's head. People learn best when they're actively thinking about the material, solving problems, or imagining what happens if different variables change. Now, the truth is, there are many evidence-based teaching methods that improve learning. Learning styles is just not one of them. And it is likely, given the prevalence of the learning styles misconception, that it actually makes learning worse. I mean, learning styles give teachers unnecessary things to worry about, and they may make some students reluctant to engage with certain types of instruction. The best learning experiences are those that involve multiple different ways of understanding the same thing.
It is our responsibility as teachers to find the best method for reaching our students, and learning styles just isn't one of them. In fact, the best way to teach our students is to engage them using all these different learning styles. Thank you so much to Veritasium for making this video. I think many teachers need to see this, and not only teachers. This can affect us as learners too, to know that even though we have preferences, it's not going to help us learn any better. I'm Eric from Educute, and I'll see you next time.